Stuck in a marina while we wait for our engine rebuild to be completed. So life on the water just keeps delivering happiness for our new family. This week we rattle a few jobs off while trying our best to keep our 6-month-old twins as happy as they can be. We also go through a Q&A
Really frustrating.
where we get into the frustrations of not having a complete boat.
This is a bit of a sore subject, you can tell.
Yeah. Stick with us for this one, guys. We really enjoyed it. Everything's gonna be alright. Good morning, Vietnam. I mean, Malaysia.
My woman.
How are you travelling, darling?
Good. I'm just cleaning up the laundry here. It's been a dumping pile. I'm good. Kids have had their first nap and they slept for a really long time.
Let's go say hello to the kids. Hey, kiddlywinks. Hey, kiddlywinks. I think you've caught them at the best time of day. They wake up in the morning, they're like half asleep, they're a little bit grouchy, and then they go for their second sleep and they wake up and they're the most happy babies on the planet. The afternoon, it gets pretty sour, but right now, great times. Yeah. Non-stop smiles. So today we have the engine room and the engine's in it. I've got the gearbox down there. I would like to connect the gearbox to the engine. I also have to reattach. I've got this engine room door which is hinged, and right now it's off the hinges. It's been off the hinges for the last long time because the engine actually wouldn't slot into the engine room if the door was still on its hinges. So now the engine's in, I can put the door back on the hinges. Wow, I just said a lot of stuff. So yeah, today is tackling the engine room and just doing everything I can do to get the engine and the engine room completely 100%, because the mechanic will be coming in and we will be aligning eventually the engine with the C drive, and that is going to be a little bit of a mission and something that I don't want to stuff up because it's very important that it aligns properly. But yeah, happy days. Alright, engine room door, hinge. Obviously it's got to go there. So I've got to pull this door up to get the hinges out. I'm going to need one Isabel's knee help. Oh, you're looking pretty today, darling.
Am I not always pretty?
Yes, I mean you're looking always pretty.
Alright, and my job for the day is to make some kind of shading over the windows. I made the curtains last year and, well, we knew that it was going to be too bright, especially in stern cabin where we sleep, but also in the main saloon here. The sun comes in and makes it very hot. Now we have put like old cushions and stuff on the outside so that the sun won't come in, but it doesn't look too crush hot, so I'm gonna make some kind of more permanent solution so that the sun won't come in and completely boil us in here. Let's see how we go.
So, the door clearly is up. I'm not even holding it. It's a bit of a little mission, but I'm happy to say that it's done. Just tiny little bolts everywhere and little nuts. I don't want to drop anything into this open engine underneath me. That would not be good. So yeah, no, things are happening. So, some of you might remember last year we were motoring from Batam, where we bought the boat, to Pancor and our gearbox failed. Okay. Isabel's not talking right now because we're in a bit of a dire situation. At current, we are now adrift. Once we finally got to Pancor and I got the gearbox out, I think they call them drive plates and gear plates. I forget the name. I remember last year, but it's all gone to me now. So we ended up just buying a refurbished gearbox out of France while we were in Sweden. It was quite easy to get to France, and I actually brought it down here in my luggage. We came into Malaysia with 80, maybe 90 kilos worth of luggage, and most of it was this gearbox. So I'm just undoing it now, and we're gonna have a look at it and see how it looks. I'm really excited because I didn't want to put that old crappy gearbox back in. I just wanted something fresh. These are Mel Super Maramus. They do have I have heard that the gearboxes do go more often than usual on a sailboat. Aha! So the reason we went with a refurbished gearbox is just because of money, really. Brand new gearbox, I think it was like 3,000 US, and I found this thing online and I thought, happy days. It hasn't done many miles, and the person I bought it off in France has a good reputation and assures me it's 100%. So yeah, I thought, why not? My baby! Look at you! Look at you! It's
not like super nice, but this part's like reflective, so the light's gonna be bouncing off. And
bouncing. I love the bouncing.
And then
bouncing.
We're not going to see it because we're going to put the curtains up like so.
Oh, amazing.
It's not a perfect fit, but you know.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's a lot better.
Be alright.
Sorry, what?
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. No woman, no cry.
Happy Thursday, everybody. It is slightly past lunchtime here on Merriweather, and I just thought I'd pick up the camera and show you what we're up to. I am currently in the kitchen, being true to where I come from and making some Swedish pancakes. And my partner, he's currently fixing the cables, and our babies are on the table. There's a Swedish saying, put the best thing that you have on the table, so put our kids on the table. Everyone's happy. Did some laundry this morning. Right now it's raining, but I'm quite happy that it's raining because it makes it quite cool on the boat. But yeah, happy here in Merriweather, happy to live on the boat again. Very happy to be a cruiser family.
Hello!
Hello!
You're mucking up my groove with the filming. I'll allow it, but
you allow it?
yeah, pretty cute.
Cheers. What you up to?
Wiring up the windex cable and the VHF cable. I've got to run it back to the cockpit. This is Isabel right now. We got VHF and windex. They flow along here and then down here, and then they go over there, then they come into here, then they're right up here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and hopefully we get it back to here. Wow! What is happening in here?
You know, there's a saying, the first pancake is never good. Yeah, the first pancake.
Luncheon. Mums.
What is your topping of choice on a Swedish pancake?
Vegemite. You know?
Could you get more strawberry? What do you think? Do you want to taste some?
It's so skinny.
Swedish pancakes. Lou's like, oh, what are you eating, Daddy? And they're meant to be crispy. How'd I go?
Eating paper. No, they're good. They're delicious. I'm just used to them a bit thicker.
The wrong way. It's understandable. Anytime we eat anything, these little hooligans are like there with their hands. And now you're actually gonna get to taste some. How exciting for you. Yeah? I don't know if we mentioned it, but this little guy has actually got a tooth now. And the second one is coming very, very soon. Trust me, I can feel it. Breastfeeding now is a challenge. How did that taste? What did you got? He's more interested in the fan. What did you got? Not so convinced.
Just quickly, because I'm on a bit of a roll, I don't want to stop. I've got now the windex cable to this area here, which is the nav station. The VHF cable, I believe I can connect up near the mast, so that is looking good. I'm just trying to figure out where the original windex cable goes so I can plug in my new windex cable into that spot. It's working! Oh, yes! Yes, yes, yes! So happy. I've got true wind speed of 2.5 knots. Wind directions coming from about 210 off our starboard side. Oh, how good. How good. Well, hello.
Well, hello there.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're doing a little Q&A. We've been sitting in this marina waiting for our engine to be completed, and to be honest, the boat is looking really good. The jobs that we have to do on her, they're becoming less and less, to be honest. And so we thought we might do a Q&A.
We asked our fellow patrons for questions that they might have. This is the first Q&A that we have since being back on the boat, and now we have two little munchkins. One's here, the other one's here, sleeping. Any questions that our patrons have, we are going to answer right now.
Let's get started. David asks, do the babies suffer from seasickness?
So obviously we haven't been sailing with them as of yet. We did a little brief in Sweden. So babies, I think under 1 year old, they don't experience motion sickness or seasickness. So it's after 1 year or sometimes 2 years that they can suffer from that. So we'll see how we go.
I have a sneaking suspicion, it's just a hunch, I've got no scientific evidence, but if you grow up on a boat, if you grow up with that motion of moving around all the time, I think you're gonna get used to it very quickly.
Hopefully.
It's kind of like peanut allergies, you know, if you introduce the peanuts really early, you don't really have the allergies later in life. So
that'll be the case.
That is the case.
Okay.
Yeah. Christian asks, does blue have another name? So he asked this really nicely. He just basically said, in different languages, blue can mean, you know, a bit sad in English as well, like you're feeling blue.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Does blue have another name? Yes, she does. She's got a middle name.
Yeah.
Name.
Blue's full name is Blue Louise Weiss, and Louise is pretty much from my grandmother. I wanted to carry on the name, so yeah.
Yep.
And well, I can just mention Ocean's name too. Ocean is Ocean Anthony Weiss.
After my stepfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their second names. If they want to take them on later in life, or if they want to choose a whole new name, then it's completely up to them. We're just happy as long as they're happy. Gavin what is your first port of call once you set sail? Will you anchor or go marina? If anchor, how will the babies go without AC? Yeah, this is a bit concerning because the climate here is just so warm, so hot all the time. And actually the babies have never gone a night without AC so far. So the plan will be to be doing day sails. The first port of call will be Penang. It's just a day away, and we'll do a little bit of time in Penang, and then we'll probably be going to Langkawi, which is a very lovely island, I'm told. And that'll be our last port of call within Malaysia, and so we'll be jumping from marina to marina basically at the start. Just until we, I think, get to a bit of a nicer climate, or maybe get them more acclimatized to the heat. Craig asks, Isabel, are you vegan? And if so, does that make your breast milk vegan? Yeah, do you want to touch on the vegan thing?
Yeah, so I am no longer on a plant-based diet. This has been for a while now. I started eating eggs and fish actually before I was pregnant. I just felt like I was kind of fatigued and didn't get enough nutrients in my body. So one of my good friends in Australia, she's a dietitian, and I consulted with her, and she said, yeah, eggs and fish are great. So I started there, and when I was breastfeeding with them later on, I got this very, very horrible headache, and I thought maybe I'm not getting enough nutrition, or they're taking what I have. So yeah, I started eating meat. They're getting fish and meat in their breast milk, I guess.
Why doesn't anyone sail to Sri Lanka, and have you considered it? Sri Lanka would be a lovely place to sail, I believe.
Yeah, I'd love to go there.
But unfortunately there's not much wind up that way. I think that's a reason why most people don't go up there, because you might be able to get up there with wind, but it's just very, very hard to get away from there. You're really stuck away from the normal milk run, you would call it, but basically the milk run is staying in the trade winds, and the trade winds blow basically along the south of Sumatra and basically south across the South Indian Ocean. So Sri Lanka is a fair way up above the trade winds, and I think not many people sail there because there's just no wind to get you there or get away from there. So it would involve a lot of motoring.
But if you go up the Suez, wouldn't that be a route that you could take? Going through Sri Lanka as well?
Again, there's no wind around India, there's no wind around Sri Lanka, so you'd be motoring pretty much a lot of the way from Thailand. You'd be motoring up to Sri Lanka, then you'd be motoring across to India, then you'd be motoring across to the Red Sea, to the Gulf of Aden. Perry, what is exactly wrong with the engine? That is a really good question.
Very good question.
So,
Do you want to?
yeah, that'd be great. We gave the engine to the mechanic last year in about September, roughly September. We went to Australia to do Christmas, we went to Sweden to have the babies, and through January, February, March, April, May, every single month I was messaging the mechanic saying, hey mate, how are you going with it? You know, what's going on? What's happening? And at every stage he assured me that it's going well and everything's going okay. I gave him a 2-month warning. I said, we're coming back on this date. I'd like the engine ready for this date. And he gave me the thumbs up. He said, yep, no worries, that's going to happen. And when we got here, it was far from the truth. It wasn't even close to being ready. So far, he has done some good work from what we can see, but it's just the time frames which he's done it in has just been shocking.
This is a bit of a sore subject, if you can tell.
Yeah, it's really keeping us tied to this dock. So we got here and he started testing the engine and it failed. He needed to order a part in from England. He said that would take 10 days. It actually took 3 weeks. He put the part in, he did more testing, and he found there was an oil issue. So the head of the engine right now, I believe the tolerances aren't what they should be, so they are trying to bring up the tolerances of the head of the engine. and that's what's happening right now. We have the whole engine in the boat itself, but we don't have the head of the engine. And so that is where we're up to. We've been here almost 4 months. We've been messaging him every week trying to get this engine sorted. We feel a bit neglected. We have talked to other people in the marina who have got their engine rebuilt by this individual, and they said it took no more than 3 months.
We might just add as well that we can't actually go have a look at the engine or go see him because his workshop is at a military base and we're not allowed to go there.
He's part of the Navy.
Yeah, so we're not allowed to go there, which is quite frustrating.
Very frustrating. We try not to let it get us down too much, but this engine is really keeping us tied to the dock. We're happy to be living in the boat, but it's frustrating when you just can't go for a sail.
Yeah.
You've got this beautiful big boat and you just can't go for a sail. Really frustrating. We try not to think about it too much. A time frame moving forward, he's given us a rough kind of 10 days, he said, until the head is ready, and that was 4 days ago. But these time frames which he gives is very flexible,
Malaysia,
as I've found out. Marina fees as well, because we are still paying marina fees because we can't leave this place, and so the cost of the whole process is blowing out quite a bit as well, which we didn't predict. So yeah, it's really not only mentally kind of we're struggling with this idea of being on this dock, but also financially, which it's not easy. Will says, if you could sail with someone for a week, who would it be and why? Isabel?
Well, right now I just want to sail with my family for the first time to see how that goes.
That was my first thought as well.
Was it?
Yeah. Jimmy Cornell. I think he would be a wealth of knowledge. It'd be very interesting to pick his brain on going for a sail and all the things that he would raise. Will also asks, what does your first 12 to 6 months look like when you start sailing? We want to go to Thailand. We're hoping to make it to Thailand for Christmas, park the boat there and do a quick trip back to Australia to see family. And then eventually in the new year of 2025, I would like to start sailing towards the Mentawai Islands. Yeah, the Mentawai Islands off the south of Sumatra are a surfer's paradise, and they're also quite a remote region where it's not super touristy. You have kind of like an island life kind of vibe, I believe, and so I really want to do a number of months, if not years, down the Mentawais. Surfing, having friends come up from Australia and going surfing. Yeah, that's been a dream of mine for a while we've been refitting this boat. So that's kind of the plan.
I'm on board on that. Sounds great.
So that is all the questions for today.
Okay.
I hope you guys got a little bit of insight into what we're going through at the moment. It's quite interesting trying to refit this boat and trying to do jobs with twin babies. They just add a whole nother level of complexity to it. There is a lot of time consuming going into just taking care of them, and it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. It's a lot, and we just have each other. You know, they say it takes a village to raise one child. We got 2, and boat jobs to do. But we're getting there, and we really want this engine to be finished very soon, so we can get out of here. Right? Yes. Someone's getting hot.
Thanks, guys. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
If you want to get access to Patreon-only videos while also supporting us in a big way, please become a patron of Sailing Merriweather by clicking the link in the description. You'll be supporting us in making these videos the best they can be.